Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of The Take on the College Football Mafia Network. I'm your host, Nathan Bomber Brown. First of all, I want to start off by saying I apologize about last night. Uh, they did a fantastic job, Noel, Vince, and Rock. When I dropped out of there, I really appreciate them covering for me. We were out of power for 7 hours yesterday, and this is the third time this summer. Now, supposedly this was guy hit a, I don't know, somebody was digging and hit the line or something like that. But when we first moved here, in fact, until about 5-10 years ago, Utah had one of the most stable in all the country power systems. And just in the last few years, it started to go down. And the reason for that is Utah is exploding in growth. We moved here, there were 2 million people. There are now 3.5 and growing million people. And it's pretty crazy. So that's another thing when you point to and you look at BYU and Utah. That's a lot of the reason why they're doing as well as they are. I want to thank everybody being here tonight. We are doing the Big 12 preview for 2025. It should be a lot of fun. Fergie is on the road working. He's told me he's on his way back to his hotel room, and I'm not sure where Coos is, but I know they will be here, so I'm not too worried about it. I hope everybody is having fun with these preview shows. Last night we covered the ACC, and how cool was that? Those guys not only did they do a fantastic job, but I mean the detail that they went into last night. That stuff you're not gonna. Well, they probably do it on their own shows. We haven't done it around here for the preview shows, and I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate them and everything that they did for us. Tonight we will have Fergie representing the University of Colorado. We will also have Coos from Coos Corner. Justin's had his own channel longer than me. He's been doing this a long time, and I really respect the work he does. West Virginia got some good news today. One of their players, I can't remember the name, I apologize. Kuz will probably know, that went to court or went to somebody to get his eligibility back, and he won. At least he has an injunction. So that's going to help West Virginia this year. They've had kind of an up and down offseason. We'll have to talk to Justin. He can tell us how that kind of has gone. And then obviously I'll do everything I can to preview BYU tonight. Regardless, it should be a lot of fun. We are going to be, I just want to make sure everybody understands how important this season is for the Big 12. I don't think it could be I don't think it could be overstated. I don't think it could be overstated how important it is this season. Because last year they only got one team in. BYU got screwed. They had beaten SMU and still did not get in. Wonder why? Well, it's because the college football playoff is definitely biased. I don't care who you talk to. It is a fact. Here we go. Justin has joined the show. How we doing, brother?
Hey, man. I apologize. I had a struggle to even get in here. So thanks for having me.
Of course. Are you on the road?
I am. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I don't know your schedule, so you need to get to bed early, any of those things. Go ahead and just tap out and we'll be good, okay?
Yeah, we're good. I'm good for at least 45. I'm good for about 45, 50 minutes.
Okay, that's kind of what I was planning. Anything we do after that would be extracurricular. There's no reason to delay any longer. Let's talk West Virginia. Big 12 this year. West Virginia is one of those schools that always flies under the radar. Did you see that news that just came down about that ruling?
Absolutely.
How much does that affect your team this year?
Potentially a lot. There's one. It's kind of convoluted. There are 4 players that were suing the NCAA for eligibility because of the JUCO stuff.
Right.
The judge ruled in favor of all 4 and gave them their injunction.
Okay.
But yesterday during the hearing, the NCAA attorney dropped a bombshell on one of the guys, Jamoy Robinson, who's the star of the 4, to be honest, the edge rusher, and said basically, even if you do give him this injunction, he's not academically eligible anyway.
Oh.
So we don't know what nobody has been able to get a handle on yet is if the judge's ruling is going to affect that.
Okay.
Or if he's still academically ineligible. So we don't know, but we at least have 3 of the guys eligible, which will help. One's a running back, one's a safety, and one is a wide receiver.
Okay.
So it's definitely a win either way you look at it, but it would be an even bigger win if Jamoy Robinson is eligible.
Okay. Fergie, thank you for joining. I know you're on the road as well. I appreciate you getting here. And we're going to cover Colorado in a little bit. How excited are you about the Big 12 season this year?
I am jacked. I'll be at the Friday night game next week against Georgia Tech, and this is probably the most excited I've been, even though the primary has been a roller coaster.
Right.
It's kind of fun to see a real team that we're gonna coach top to bottom.
Very good. Georgia Tech's not bad either. They're going to be a test. That's not going to be a
They're
pushover.
gonna meet something special in Boulder on Friday night.
I love that. I love that attitude. Okay, I'm going to start with Justin. Okay, Coos, tell us why West Virginia wins the Big 12. Give us some real pointers about that team and kind of why you're high on this season.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to win. I don't think they're going to win the Big 12, but I do think they can overachieve because I really believe in what Rich Rod's doing there. I think, this is a program that really needed a higher level of accountability for the players, higher level of work ethic, higher level of being pushed above and beyond what you're capable of doing in your own mind. For example, I just think they needed it. Neil Brown was a little bit, I don't want to say he was soft, but definitely not as intense as Rich Rod. And I think he's just injecting a level of intensity into the program that we haven't had in a while. And I think it's a breath of fresh air. And I'm just really excited about what he's bringing to the table. Even if they don't have a great year this year, I think the future is really bright in Morgantown.
Everything about that I love. I love the progression. I know the last couple seasons you've been frustrated with where Neil had taken the program. Just a little bit about West Virginia. If they were going to win 9 games this year, how would they do that?
They're going to do it with a really high-powered offense that goes really fast, snaps the ball every 15 to 20 seconds.
Okay.
And with a defense that is going to be much different than what they're accustomed to in Morgantown. Zach Alley's bringing a totally different look, more aggressive defense that I think is going to be harder to prepare for. So I think those two things combined are going to make West Virginia a tough out this year.
I love to hear that. West Virginia comes to Provo, and it's in September, right? Either the end of September, 1st of October, something like that.
Yep. I'm excited about
of all the games, except for the Utah game, that's the game I wanted to get to. But I'll be perfectly honest, BYU tickets now are just insane.
So are West Virginia tickets.
Yeah, got to pay that $20.5 million for that NIL.
Absolutely.
Money's got to come from somewhere. Okay, well, thanks for that. I appreciate that preview. Let's talk Colorado, Fergie. Kind of give us an overview on how Colorado's doing and, what kind of we should look forward in 2025.
Well, I think even in the last few weeks, we've started to see some clarity on potential starting units and the depth chart and how the coaches feel. I think we feel pretty confident right now that Salter will start the Georgia Tech game, which gives us somebody that I think is still under the radar, dual threat, kind of old school Colorado quarterback that can, run the RPO, you'll see the option again in Colorado, which would be
really
cool. Just a few, maybe 4 or 5 option plays.
Okay.
The talent level overall, and I really want people to appreciate where we were and where we are from 22 to 25. The overall talent level is legit Power 4. We were playing with magical instruments in 23. We were playing with 2 super, Travis and Shadur. We have a real team, and I kind of look at the ratings and say, this is the 10th best team in the Big 12, and it's a rebuild and blah, blah, blah. I think people are going to be blown away by the Georgia Tech game. I think they'll see size on the lines that they have not seen. I think they'll see speed that they have not seen. We were still improving this classes. We had no team, no team. So we've put the classes together. Our transfer portal guys, while we have some, one-hit wonders, we have been building classes and filling back in on classes with sophomores and juniors. And that makes us legit. The offseason was amazing. Hired a new strength coach that added way more talent Andrew Swayze.
How many coaches does Colorado have at this point? Like 45?
At least 40.
I cannot
We
believe how many
actually,
coaches they've
ironically,
hired.
we have a guy, and the name will escape me. We have a guy coaching our safeties right now that's an active NFL player that's a free agent waiting to get back on the thing, and he's a top
crazy.
coach. Because
Okay.
I like the idea of, like, our safeties are coached by our DC Livingston. Why not have a safety coach that's it's Von Bell, a safety that's in the NFL but looking for a team.
Okay.
So love the team. I would say we've got truly All-Americans in a few spots. Seaton on the left tackle will be a day one pick in a year and a half, next year, 26 or 27. He's just a sophomore. DJ McKinney is in the top first round as a corner. And even though we lost 4 NFL rostered wide receivers, we feel right now we have 8 or 9 NFL receivers lined up.
Really?
The receiving class will be really, really good. So the one thing I'm kind of intrigued that we're kind of noticing in kind of the clips and thoughts is we might end up being 2 teams. What I mean by that is Salter starts, we go heavy, 2 tight end, we run, we RPO, we do option. Then Juju might come in and we might go back to 4 wide and we might dart all over the field. So a team will not be, Georgia Tech will not be prepared for what we have capable. And then on the defense, Coach Sapp and these guys on the line are really making some defensive players. I think we'll lead in sacks. I think we'll stop the run.
Okay.
I really feel good. I mean, I love Colorado fans are crazy, fickle morons most of the time, but this year we're excited. Put us at number 10 and we'll do the Arizona State and find our way to 1. So,
well, you're in the right conference to do that. So
yeah.
I think that's okay, right? There's nobody. I wouldn't count anybody out right this second.
Yeah, we have the toughest
Houston's
schedule according to a lot of folks. We have the toughest schedule,
Okay.
Just from the standpoint of where we're going, what we're doing, avoiding. I hate to say a couple of the. We aren't playing like Cincinnati, UCF, and Oklahoma State. We're playing Arizona State, Iowa State, Kansas State. We're going to the Mountaineers. We got you guys coming in for hopefully some payback. And so there's nobody that we're not playing that's at the top 9. But I like people sleeping on us. I like people saying that it's a rebuild because we did lose a lot of talent, but we stacked classes. We feel good. We're going to play fast. I know, Nathan, you constantly talk about losing grass. Yeah, Colorado took out grass and put in turf for many reasons. But I will tell you, we have speed we want to show off, and we were slipping last year. I went to a lot of the games, and they were painting the dirt green, and that's not grass.
The Kansas State game maybe had the most slips I've ever seen.
Correct. So
yeah, that was a crazy.
We're jazzed. We're jazzed.
You sound like it. And both of you, I really appreciate you. First of all, thanks for joining the show. I appreciate you giving me some time tonight. Do you have any questions about Colorado there, Coos?
Not really. I think he answered most of my questions. Really, I found it intriguing that he, thinks that they might be multiple on offense. As far as playing both quarterbacks and having an entirely different offense. As someone from the outside looking in, and as a football fan, I'm thinking that might be, if I'm an offensive player, it might be a little tougher to learn. If you got to play 2 different offenses in the same game, that might be a little tricky. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it's not doable, but
I think what you'll see, though, is the same plays, the same formats, the same everything. But Salter's going to be able to legitimately RPO option and carry it himself and have that in the book. But I think you're going to see us have play action, quick plays, but we want to lull you to sleep on pound the rock, RPO, quick outside throws, but we want to get over the top. Yeah. We have some guys that are absolute monsters. People you have never heard of that transferred from Florida State, that transferred a kid named Sincere Brown, who might go from FCS to the NFL. 6'5", 4.3 speed, Randy Moss body. These are people that, this is the beauty of the transfer portal that I don't think we ever had the ability is to find a guy that could plug in for player A and player B.
Right.
What
but I
about
think-
what about your offensive line? That's where I'd be concerned of.
Well, we sucked in 22. We sucked in 23. We did a little better in 24, but then they chose to go all, air raid with Shedeur and just throw the ball. Love the line. Replaced the entire, honestly, 4 new guys who have played 98 college snaps, all starters for multiple years at both guards, center, and tackle. And if you look at our depth chart, we are the biggest line in the Big 12, period. We have averaged like 330, 6'7". I mean, we are physically gigantic in order to run the damn ball. So I'm very excited about, I might see the 90s show up again at Folsom. So
Wow. Okay.
Excited.
Well,
Did you say 98 college snaps?
Yeah. So if you take Zy Chrysler, Xavier Hill, Larry Johnson, these 4 guys that came from a couple of Big Ten, a couple of like USF, these are guys who have started consistently for over 2 years of college ball and played the whole season. I love O-linemen that have played a whole season, that aren't getting dinged, and they're big, giant men. And the joke in campus, we have a guy, George Hegeman is one of our O-line coaches. He played for the Cowboys for almost a decade. And he is he's a guy you cannot look around. If he's in front of you walking, you will never see what's in front of him. That's how big he is. And our right tackle, what's his name? Larry, oh gosh, can't remember his name, but George Hegeman, the biggest man I've ever seen, says that Larry Johnson is the biggest man he's ever seen.
wow.
So
Okay.
you're going to see just really large men making some space. We were a sieve the last 2.
Because 98 snaps is the equivalent of about 2 games. That's the reason I'm asking.
Oh, no. Sorry, Kuz, you got me. 98 games, my guy.
Okay.
Sorry.
It was
about
just
that.
a tight.
I thought so. I thought maybe that's where you were going, but I wanted to make sure.
Thank you, Kuz, for clearing that
98
up.
games is a lot. That's a
Yeah.
lot.
98 snaps is a quarter for Travis Hunter. So
So
Yeah.
so you
And a
need to
game
prove
and 1 game for Rich Rod.
2 things that Colorado, and then we're gonna go back to West Virginia. 2 things that Colorado has to do better. Their defensive line needs to stand up.
Yep.
Right. And they have to be able to run the ball.
Yep.
And everything else will sort of come together. If there's one deficit in Colorado, what is it?
Inside linebacker depth. If the line isn't stopping the run fits and it's all on the linebackers and the safeties to make those run tackles, guy could get dinged up there, but we feel decent there. The other thing about it is we are dinging on some running backs. We're 2 running backs are injured right now, so we don't need any more running backs getting hurt. Salter taking a hits because he's going to run the ball, probably be 1,000-yard rusher if he chooses to. But that would be our weakness. And then honestly, and Coach Prime said this, he's got to be a better coach, better timeouts, better choices. Feel great about kicking. We've improved on kickoffs. How could a guy not get a touchback in Boulder, Colorado? That is, I could do that. And
I don't know.
And we had guys. No, Nathan. We had guys that couldn't get to the end zone in Boulder, and
I understand. I get it.
Same in BYU, 6,000 feet. How do you not kick it out of the thing? Kuz, I will tell you, I want to come to Morgantown so bad. I am trying and trying and trying. Someone said, did Rich Rod do the prime and literally replace what number of your roster was replaced?
What's the turnover?
It's 80.
This season.
Well, yeah, I mean it was in the 70s, but he's added 6 guys during fall camp.
Wow.
He was still working the portal in fall camp.
Holy
He never
cow.
stops. The dude never stops working. I've never seen anything like it.
80.
So he's but I would argue
that includes true freshmen too, but yes.
Yeah.
80.
Rich Rod in 2-3 years, if he does what he does, you will be good again.
And a lot of those are seniors too. I mean, he got a lot of seniors out of the portal. We'll see if it comes together. But hopefully you can make it to Morgantown. That's definitely one of the games. I bought season tickets for the first time this year,
Oh, good.
And Colorado is definitely one of the ones I plan on attending. So
I hope it works out, and I'll get in touch with you.
Fergie, do you have any questions about West Virginia?
Besides the roster replacement and kind of the philosophy of running a lot of snaps, I love that idea. That kind of gives you some equalization if you're running more snaps.
That's always been his MO, and that's kind of how you offset. West Virginia's never going to get a bunch of 5-star guys, right? So you have to be different than everybody else. How do you be different? You go faster than anybody else in the country, and that's his plan.
Well, I would ask you the question you asked me. Do you feel confident in your O-line, or do you even know your O-line?
We don't really know them yet, honestly. We're replacing all 5 guys up front, whether it be to graduation or the portal. Some of those guys are coming over from Power 4 schools with very little experience, and some of them are coming up a level with a lot of experience. So it's kind of a mixture.
Yeah.
I'm nervous about whether they can gel or not, but there has been some positives coming out of fall camp about the O-line, that they're gelling faster than they thought they would. So we'll see. I think there's a lot of talent there. It's just, can they gel, and how quick does it come together? Fortunately, they don't have to open the season with Penn State again.
Right.
They get to open with Robert Morris and then Ohio U out of the MAC before they get to the backyard brawl on week 3, and hopefully by then they'll be ready to roll.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was my. Now you guys have some great, like Colorado's all-star coaching staff. You got a few all-star coaches back, correct? Or guys that.
We have nobody back. Our entire staff's new. We had 2 that were staying on originally. One ended up getting an NFL job and leaving, and then the other one ended up getting an offer at Texas. So
that's hard to turn down.
Yeah, he's not passing up Texas. So
I was going to say, the one thing that I feel great about our offense is our brain trust now. That you're Byron Leftwich is in the building, teaching our quarterbacks and adding to the playbook from a Super Bowl winning OC.
Right.
And Marshall Falk is in the backfield describing what plays and what things. Yep. I've been watching some sequences. I see some Rams playbook on the awesome. quick running back plays and stuff like that. So I'm optimistic, Nathan, because now could it go south? Yes. You asked one question. Who are the leaders? Who can do the Shedeur and Travis leadership?
Right.
I think it's there, but it is unproven, and they need to get confident out the gate.
So let's do a quick reset. I appreciate everybody watching. We dove right into the Big 12 preview. We've talked about West Virginia. We've talked about Colorado. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, or if you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitter, do us a favor and follow us all on Twitter. At the same time, jump over and open a window on YouTube and hit the subscribe button. We will do comments and questions after we continue with the preview, but I appreciate everybody being here tonight. This time goes by so fast, 25 minutes, and I feel like I've been here 5. So you guys make things so easy. So I'm going to give you a really quick BYU breakdown. I don't know if either of you care, but we do happen to play all 3 of them.
Absolutely.
Nathan, I've got my BYU tickets, so tell me who I'm looking at.
Well, first you're going to come to my house. We're going to go out to dinner, and we're going to
No. You're coming to my house.
That's right. I forgot. I got to travel, don't I? No, I'll get you next. I don't know. Anyway, so BYU, I think the storyline everybody knows about, Jake Retzlaff, I had to leave, the starting quarterback. But honestly, he was a middling quarterback anyway. He was a 1-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, under 65% completion percentage, and they still won 11 games last year. And we're just, a hairline difference from making it into the Big 12 championship game. So what did they need in the offseason? They kept most of their skill players. Their defense did replace some, but they replaced them with guys that were already playing downs. So it's a lot of the repeat people that were already in the program on defense. The linebacking core might be the best in the Big 12. Their skill positions are really good. We are only 2 deep on the running back side. We lost one running back. I can't remember what happened. I think he left the team. I'm not sure what the reason is, but now we're only 2+ whatever deep on the running backs. So that might be a problem. Injuries happen in college football. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the quarterback at BYU. Not, historically, you could have said that and everybody would go, of course, quarterbacks BYU synonymous. It's not like that anymore. Jay Hill had the best defense in the Big 12 last year, and I think they had like 28 or 31 turnovers. You're going to win a lot of games if you do the plus minus on the turnover ratio. They're going to continue to do that this year. They're going to turn the ball over, create some real good opportunities. The special teams team was 1 or 2 in the Big 12 last year. They're going to be in the top 3 this year. That's another thing that we're going to be pretty good at. The kicker might be all conference. I don't think he's missed a field goal yet. He might have missed one. I don't remember. But the quarterback, Bear Bachmeier. A couple things about him. His family, his older brother started at Boise State. His next older brother was 2.5 years at Stanford and graduated. That's Tiger. He's the one who transferred over with Bear. Bear is a true freshman, but he comes through that bloodline. He picked up and I don't know, there's 2 ways to look at this. The playbook, you could say the 2 quarterbacks we had that have been in the system just weren't that good, and so it wasn't that hard to come in and replace them. There is that argument. We don't know. We have no way to measure them. But from people like Steve Young, for instance, he's seen every quarterback under the sun, and he said this kid's special. So we will have to see. He is a true freshman, and there's going to be some bumps and bruises. But I think if he can just play the same way and maybe even a little better than Jake did, BYU's going to do very well again this year. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I'm really optimistic. You guys are optimistic about your teams. But
I'm cautiously optimistic.
That, you know what? That's fine. Yeah, that's maybe where all 3 of us should be. But the Big 12, that's what's so fun about our conference.
Yeah, who knows, man, right?
Right?
Yeah.
It's almost a coin flip in some of these games.
I'm amazed how convicted people are at the top or the bottom, because I see so many potential holes in teams and strengths. And, like we talked about not having preseason polls.
Right.
I mean, the Big 12, the poll and the power thing, and just drives me. I mean, as a Colorado fan, we're averaging 9 or 10, the 9th or 10th best team. And like I said, I love it. Underestimate us.
Right.
Leave us there. Put the pressure on Arizona State, who it'll be interesting. And I love to say, you're welcome, Arizona State, for Jordan Tyson. That's a buff that we had, and that left when Prime told him to leave.
Right. We have a former buff on our team too, by the way.
I know you do.
Grant.
Yep. But Jordan Tyson was one of the buffs when Prime said hop in the portal. We needed to close the door when Jordan Tyson was walking to the door, because I would have loved to have kept him. But he's a great kid. He did have an injury. He felt he needed a new place, but I am so excited.
So let's talk about ASU. I actually think ASU takes a step back. I think Scattaboo was just that good.
Yeah, I think it's that, along with the fact that the law of averages at some point has to play a role. Sure. Arizona State won a lot of close games, and I'll be honest, I could say the same for BYU last year too.
Absolutely.
Will that fortune change? Who knows? Because we all know in football, man, that all-blown football could bounce either way.
Right.
There's
absolutely no doubt.
And luck has to play a role in it. It whether we like it or not. So I look for them to take. I don't think they'll take a huge step back, but I don't necessarily think they're going to win the conference. But I do think they'll be in that upper third of the conference still, because I just think I love Kenny Dillingham. I think he's a heck of a coach. I like Sam Leavitt, and he's only going to get better. He's still he's still young.
He is young.
And Tyson, my question is, how good will they be up front, and how good will they be at running back now that Scattaboo's gone?
Yeah,
those are the questions I have. But I still think they'll be a good team. I'm just not sure they'll win 10, 11 games or whatever.
They're going to have so much pressure on them. Tyson is going to be game planned for. Scattaboo, I did not love the guy, just personally, but he is a super college running back who did things, all the little things, just absolute hard yards. Screen game was brilliant. He had great hands. He caught about every ball that came to him. And as a quarterback, you love to have that option and that option.
Right.
So Nathan, I agree that, and Kuz had the best point. Arizona State and BYU are the ones that have to keep the law of averages up. I'm the one, and I hate to say this. Kansas State, to me, has the most complete and what I think will be the most focused and a type of team that underperformed compared to how good they are top to bottom and have such a good coach and a favorable schedule. That's why I lean that way in terms of that top 3 or 4.
So Kansas State, Iowa State, are they you guys' top 2?
I'm not an Iowa State lover either.
Mm-mm.
No.
No,
I think
they're
they
not my
lost
top two.
their wide receivers.
I like Kansas State and Utah. Sorry.
You
Can't
cannot
say,
say
can't
that.
say that around here.
Yeah.
I will say this about Utah. They rarely have bad seasons back to back.
I think last year was an anomaly. I mean, they put all their eggs in the Cam Rising basket. It blew up in their face. They won't do that again.
I think they lost. If we really track them, and I wish Ute was here, but obviously he gets paid for a living and does other things during the week now. But I think a lot of what happened to them last year was of their own making. They made Kyle Whittingham has not embraced NIL.
Yep.
He wasn't looking forward to revenue share. Their NIL, we'll put it this way. It just came out yesterday. Utah lost $17 million, and they're going to continue to run a deficit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because in the Pac-12, and this is all the Pac-12 teams, Arizona State was almost 52 million in debt. Arizona was over 20. So I don't know about Colorado. You'd have to answer on Colorado. But bottom line is
Prime came to save the day. If Prime would not have come on the Pac-12 Big 12 move, because I don't know if you know, Pac-12 teams we gave like 10 million back to the OSU WSU for our package.
Well, sure you did. Of course.
We had to pay an old bill.
The Pac-12 was run horribly, though. That's my point, is they all deficit spent. They all planned on these windfalls, $50 million a year and everything like that. And yeah, we make fun of Utah, but that legacy sticks with them. At the end of the day, their defense is always going to be good, but they're bringing in an offense from New Mexico. And it's the whole offense, the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach. The whole offense and their best skilled position players are coming from New Mexico. New Mexico went 5-7 last year. So they had pretty good stats.
That's fair.
But you're not up against. Who did they play?
But their O-line is going to be elite.
Oh, there's no doubt. And I don't.
And that might win them a game or two right there.
It might, but is it going to all of a sudden make them a 10-win team?
The quarterback's not that accurate either. I mean, he is jitterbug.
No, he runs the ball.
He is magical with his feet. Nathan, you have nailed the thing on Utah is, they're bringing the guy, they're doing this. But the offensive, and you're gonna solve that in one fall camp, and you're gonna be perfect. I think Kuz is right. The offensive line will buy them some time to maybe figure it out. And I see a bunch of teams in the Big 12 that are gonna actually go to slow grinding this game and make it. If I'm BYU, I play slower. If I'm Utah, I play slower, and I try to pound people to death and not allow their offenses to have any chance. The West Virginia BYU game is going to be a hoot to watch, pound and speed, and see how that works. But I agree with you on Utah. That's why I'm kind of just wondering, all these things have to come together for all of us to have success, and there can be big reasons why they don't.
That's what makes this conference so freaking fun.
There's absolutely no doubt about that. Let's quickly run through our, just so everybody knows kind of where we ended up as a College Football Mafia family. Let me get rid of this banner. So we went through, everybody made their picks. Let's see here. Is it this one? No, it's the other one. We don't have to spend a ton of time on this, but as we go through these, if anything jumps out at you, go ahead and just sound off. Daniel says Iowa State. Baylor, we haven't spoken about at all. I think they're good. I don't see them winning the conference personally. Texas Tech is the school we haven't talked about at all. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think about Texas Tech?
Go ahead, Kuz.
I don't, man. It's hard to argue with the talent, but man, look at what Texas A&M did a few years ago. You can bring in all the talent you want, but if it doesn't gel, and if you don't have the coaching, if they don't stay healthy, and I'm not saying McGuire's a bad coach necessarily, but we don't. He's only been doing it 3 years. We don't really know yet how good he's going to be. I definitely think they're going to be a good team. I'm not ready yet to pick them to win the league. I just think I need to see it. I need to see it happen before I go there, personally.
Yeah. I think that the thing you described about Utah last year has the same potential to hit Texas Tech. I would argue that more NIL in the wrong way does not work, because your point about why Utah went bad, I think they didn't understand NIL, but they paid Cam Rising a ton of money, and the locker room went south.
They did.
Now Texas Tech has to pay new guys and the existing guys, and everyone needs to not think about their paycheck and play ball to meet the standards. But you know what's crazy about NIL? I have no idea if this is absolutely true, but didn't we all kind of pay our players up front? I think I was heard that when the revenue sharing money was ready to be paid out on that one day, because the Colorado players talked about it, they all got their money. Like, they literally, it's not like you and me getting a weekly paycheck. So
they had to sign their agreement first.
And
once
then get their money.
it, and then whatever their money share was.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the 20.5 is just the entry fee.
Agreed. But Joey's a great coach. Coach Prime considers Joey a personal friend. He coached Shiloh, I think, back when he was in high school. I wish Joey luck. None of us had any fun or enjoyed Texas Tech stadium experience. I'm glad the tortillas have been pseudo legislated.
We'll see.
We almost had a player. I know we almost had a player tear his knee on a tortilla, and
oh my God.
Well, it's quite a thing. But I do want to comment. I think the sneaky good team is TCU.
Yes. I'm glad
I think TCU has they went to the championship, got set back on a little bit, they got poached a little bit by the SEC and stuff, got their legs back under them. Great coach, great quarterback, who I think is a very good game manager in Josh Hoover. I look at TCU as a sneaky good pick, and you guys hit it right in terms of 5-6, but on the prowl.
Goose?
Yeah, TCU. They're my dark horse to win, and I guess you could consider them a dark horse because nobody's really picking them.
Right?
They're my dark horse to win, and I mean, they only brought in 10 transfers, is my understanding, because he had so much faith in his team and what he had from last year. He's bringing back a lot of guys with a lot of experience. The running back's a big question mark for them. What will they have back there? But man, quarterback's solid. Wide receiver is great. They're going to be great in the secondary. I really think that they're kind of quietly over here building a really good football team that nobody's talking about.
Yeah, with championship experience in a way that builds from the freshmen and sophomores. That even if they replace people, there's a culture of like, we just did it. So what can we do? We got the coaches. We got I have my most confidence in Kansas State and TCU from just a holistic standpoint. And then there's such a high and a low for Tech and Arizona State. And from there, Iowa State, I still haven't figured out. I need to study more. Or I've had a lot of people talk about, Iowa State's overall talent level is not supremely talented. They're a great team with a great coach and a great quarterback.
And a great culture.
The culture, I think, is probably the biggest asset.
It is.
But does that
continuity, doing the same thing every year?
Yep.
And that's how Kalani does it. And
that great defense over there that nobody can ever seem to figure out.
Yeah, they always find a way to lose a game, though they shouldn't.
John, they do, and they're another team too that I think may have overachieved a little bit last year, if that makes sense. Based on talent. So. Now they had those two great receivers, and they had obviously Rocco Beck played pretty well, but and they always play good defense. But they lose those stud receivers this year.
Yeah.
So do they have somebody that can step up and replace them? I think they went out and got a guy in the portal, but I think I'm not sold that he's all that great either. I think he's from UCF. Can't remember his name, but Townsend, maybe Xavier Townsend, maybe is that who it is? But anyway, I think they're another one of those teams that will be good, but not necessarily. I'm not necessarily picking them to win the league like Daniel is.
So let me just quickly run through these. A couple things that stand out to me. Daniel has Utah at 11 or whatever that is,
Interesting.
12. That's a little. I think Utah's going to be good. I just don't think they're going to win the whole shooting match. As far as Rock goes, I think anywhere from 9 to 1. Every one of those teams has a really good chance to win the conference.
Nobody's high on Kansas, I see.
Yeah, I mean, how are you? Let me quickly run through these, and then we can talk about Kansas because that's one I think's getting under the radar. Becky picked Kansas State,
Okay, sorry.
Arizona State.
I didn't know you had more.
Oh no, that's okay. That's all right. I just want to quickly run through these.
Mm-hmm.
Becky had Kansas State, Arizona State, and then Utah, Iowa State a little. But again, you go down to 9, and pretty much any of those teams can win the conference. You go to Moen. He says ASU. I don't know. We have a bunch of ASU people watching the show right now. They're going to yell at me. It's tough to repeat in a conference as close knit as the Big 12.
Yeah.
Are there any of those in these two that you guys? I have 2 more. Are there any on here that you guys see that really stand out to you? Oklahoma State for Becky. That's rough.
Yeah. What's interesting playing on the Kansas when Kansas's name was brought up is the people in the Big 12 who are more Big 12 fans and centric put Kansas down. The folks out of the Big 12 put Kansas up. I'll be dead honest. A lot of us at Colorado give them their props for pounding us at the end of the year last year. They got you, Nathan.
I don't want to talk about Kansas.
But honestly, I'm not sold on the program as a whole in terms of, where they're going roster wise. They're going to have a great experience. Their stadium it's new. It's not done. They're only going to have like 30,000. They only have half.
But it's nice.
But it's only half the stadium.
Yeah, no, it's nice though.
Oh, I agree, but it's half the stadium.
I understand. I get you.
So,
Kuz, do you have anything in here?
Becky has Texas Tech at 12. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think that's crazy. I think Tech's going to be top 3rd myself, but.
So anyway, but no, other than that, I don't see a ton of surprises on there.
Okay. West Virginia at 12, I don't agree with from Moen. He's being hypercritical there, I think.
No, 12 is about fair. I mean, that's most of the country has them in that 14, 12 to anywhere from 12 to 14 for the most part. So that's pretty fair, I think.
And then me and Ute, obviously Big 12 people. I have K-State, Texas Tech, BYU. I'm obviously a homer. But you go from K-State all the way down to West Virginia on my list. And that goes 10 deep on mine. And I think any of those teams could win the conference going away. And then Ute has Utah. Very fair.
He hates West Virginia.
I obviously we're gonna have
he doesn't think they'll ever have a shot at the SEC, and he picks them 15th, and he doesn't like Rich Rod. So I get it.
Ute has BYU at what is that 10? So I think we're looking at some homer picks there. But is there anything about Ute and I that stands out to you guys? I know we got to get Kuz out of here, so I'm trying to get through this.
That's okay. No, you're good. Go ahead.
I think you guys are good. I mean, so the debate, I hate to debate the bottom of the conference, but I would argue that Arizona and UCF, despite having potential to be really good programs in the long run, are both not in good shape right now or over the long term in terms of, like you mentioned, Nathan, put up or shut up to do what you're supposed to do. I have UCF as not winning a conference game, in my opinion.
Wow.
I don't think they're going to be ready to go. What happened last year after we played them and a couple other teams played them, coach essentially quit on them and the vibe is low. They're going to have to start from the very bottom. And Frost inherited really good players when he did his 13-0. And so that's a team that I don't know. Cincy, gosh, I feel like they could and should and would, but they don't look like they're putting the pieces together to compete. And I hate to see that with those brands in those great locations not putting it in.
Coos, anything?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't. I like the. I mean, other than where he has, other than where you has West Virginia, I don't. I don't see a lot I hate about these lists. I mean, I also think Arizona and UCF are likely going to be the worst in the league. I'm just not a huge Scott Frost. I know he's coming back just like Rich Rod, but I think Rich Rod's a better coach. I'll just be honest.
Oh,
tenfold.
yeah.
Tenfold.
I know Scott Frost had that one undefeated season, but it's the only winning season he's ever had. So I'm not sold on him yet. Other than that, man, I don't see a whole lot there to argue with. I mean, the teams that you guys have at the top, I think, will all finish, in that upper half or upper third. So I don't really have an issue with it.
I love hearing that. That's good. That means I'm not too far off.
Well,
These picks are so difficult.
I wouldn't take my opinion as anything gospel, but
Oh, you kidding me? You guys are better at this than I am. Our averages: Kansas State, Arizona State, Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech will be pretty good. Iowa State, Utah, TCU, Baylor, Colorado, BYU. I think that is a pretty good breakdown. The one that I think Houston might get to 6-6 this year. It's possible. Yeah. But Arizona and Oklahoma State, man, these are proud programs that have been playing power conference football for a long time.
If Oklahoma State has a bad year, Mike Gundy may be gone.
But I think that's a mutually good thing because, sometimes it's ran its course. I hate to see that the two longest, Big 12 coaches, Gundy and Whittingham, are, I hate to say it, they're not of this age. And they did what they did at a time when they could do it. They were so good at coaching, so consistent. And now
keeping their teams together, that's where they were successful. Every year they just
freshmen who played as a fifth-year senior. I mean, that's
right.
That's what football used to be, and that's not the game. And even though they're great X's and O's, I'd argue that all of them are better X and O's than Prime. But the other game, the game of playing the egos and playing the money and playing the recruiting, I just think that it's interesting to see the eras switch over. And look at who we're bragging about at Arizona State. Young, vibrant, Dillingham.
Yeah.
So it's a change of the guard.
Anything else on their Coos that you want to
No, man.
about?
I look at where West Virginia's at, 10.8. It's hard to, when you got 80 new players on your roster, it's hard to argue with that, man. That's pretty fair.
Yeah, I think BYU would have been top 3 if Retzlaff had stuck around. So the question is, can you convert? And that's maybe the biggest question that has to do with all of our teams is, can you convert the talent into production?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
And that's probably the biggest challenge in the Big 12 in general, because we are overlooked as far as all the other conferences are. So overall, just for the season in total, how many teams does the Big 12 get in to the college football playoff, Fergie?
I'm going to optimistically say 2, that even though we're going to beat each other up, I hope, for the benefit of everyone in the conference, that 2 teams do take themselves into a position to have 10 wins or more in the championship game with good wins and good ratings to get. We need to. I don't want to see us beat each other up and have 2 9-3s playing in the championship game and knowing it's only one team.
Right.
And that's the only reason I say that, is because the one thing that the Big 12 got as a gift is its quarterbacks. We truly have better quarterbacks, top to bottom, than either of the Big 10 or the SEC. I will stand on that. We have better. I am amazed that those quarterbacks aren't. Now, maybe I'm going to eat my words and there's going to be just cash bonanza coming at Big 12 quarterbacks. But good quarterback play can make the Big 12 rise in a lot of places. I want to. Statistics say we're probably 1.4, we're below the 2. We can't round up to 2.
It's brutal.
So I'm going to say 2 optimistically and keep it there.
Justin?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I think realistically, I just think the league's going to cannibalize each other, man. And I think they end up getting one in again. Unfortunately, I hope I'm wrong, and they do get 2. But I just think they're just going to eat each other alive, and it's fun to watch, but it's not great for the conference.
It's not profitable.
BYU plays Texas Tech, Utah, Colorado. They missed both the Kansas teams this year. Thank goodness. They seem to get us. But you're right. It's the old what everybody used to laugh at the Pac-12. The reason they never got a team into the playoff is because they ended up at the end of the year, they all ate each other up, right? And now the Big 12 is that conference. We need to be top heavy, but honestly, we go 10 teams deep every single year.
There's too many. The teams in the Big 12 are too. I don't know that it'll ever be top heavy because of the resources are similar.
Yeah.
Cultures are similar. There's just so many similarities. I mean, maybe a couple teams will rise to the top, but I don't know, man. It might be tough to do.
So you sorry, go ahead, Fergie.
No. I think though, if we're going to beat each other up and we're so close and your guys' votes were so random, you got to boil it down to schedule. You got to boil it down to home and away. That's another reason. Kansas State's schedule, honestly, if you really look at it, is the easiest schedule. I mean, I hate to say how we were beaten up on Oklahoma State. We were beaten up on, some of those teams. They get Arizona, UCF, Oklahoma State. They're getting games that they want to get. Now, Kansas State, we got Friday night's game. If Iowa State beats Kansas State on Farmageddon,
which is Saturday,
we're off to a crazy start in game 1.
Yep.
So, as Kansas State's favorite, I believe, in that game.
Is that who you guys think wins that game? Iowa State or Kansas State? I have K-State winning that game.
K-State.
I've got K-State winning it, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and hopefully it's a barn burner, right? Hopefully it really lights up because the whole world's going to be watching. Mm-hmm. It's a unique opportunity for the Big 12 to sort of have everybody looking and watching.
Yep.
A disaster would be Iowa State or K-State wins by 35.
Yeah.
That would be.
If Kansas State wins by 35, though, Kansas State can stay in the top 10. And that would help us from the whole rating perception standpoint. Iowa State could try to come back.
From that standpoint, I agree with you. People turn the game off, though, in the third quarter. So you're not watching to the end of the game. So it's kind of 6-1. I agree with what you're saying. You're right. That would put K-State, for that matter, but Iowa State in a good position. Whoever wins that game is going to do well. They're both in the top 25. So somebody's going to win. It's just the perception thing, the eyeball thing is so important.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys joining me.
Absolutely.
This has been awesome. I know both of you are on the road. I'm going to go into the enhanced metrics of the new CFP if you guys want to stick around. And then take comments and questions. But thank you so much for being here. Kuz, why don't you tell everybody what's going on your channel and what you guys got going? You have so many balls in the air.
Yeah, I've got obviously Kuz's Corners, where you'll find me on YouTube. I cover primarily West Virginia, but I do talk Big 12. I did drop a video today about the 2018 playoff talk, gave my opinion on that.
Right.
I also have a partner with someone over on a website, wvsportschat.com, where we cover West Virginia sports. I'm part of the Rogue Media Network, so check out all the Rogue Media channels. I mean, it's just, I'm expecting an exciting year for college football and hopefully an exciting year for the channel. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, they're getting that close to 5,000.
I know.
Get them over.
Oh, thank you.
Let's get it.
Absolutely.
Thank
you for having me on, Bomber. It's always fun, man.
It's been too long, Justin. I really appreciate you coming on and giving us some of your time. If there's anything we can do for you, don't hesitate to ask.
Thank you very much. And
have a great night. Travel safe.
It's always fun to be with you.
Kuz, the week of the Colorado game, I'd love to come and chat with you about it. We'll see where both teams stand up, and I am
absolutely
89% sure I'm going to get myself out there because I'm just going to make it a business trip. Period.
Well, if you do hit me up, man, maybe I'll buy you a beer or something.
I'd love it.
All right. Thanks, Justin. We'll see you later.
Yep.
That is Justin Coos Corner in the house. I want to thank him so much for coming on. He's been doing this longer than we have, and he's very, very good at it. So make sure you subscribe at Coos206 on Twitter, Coos Corner on YouTube. Please subscribe to his channel. I want to thank him so much for being here. And you're going to stick around. Is that right, Fergie?
I'm going to be honest. I'm behind enemy lines. I'm at a hotel with nothing to do except the thrill of talking to you and to the folks on the channel. So I'd love to stick around, and then I'll go find some dinner after that.
Oh, that's great. I appreciate it. That was a fantastic hour. It takes time to take questions and comments. I appreciate everybody being patient with us tonight. This sort of is the second to last show we're going to do on the College Football Mafia Network. We are going to do best of the rest. There's no other way for me to say that without saying it. But the G6 conferences, we'll probably talk about Notre Dame a little bit, but to round out the 2025 preview, this football season, I don't know, every year is the year that's going to be the biggest and brightest ever. Yeah. But I think you and I both agree in this, that NIL and revenue sharing, the money in general, has really helped even out the talent. It's a lot deeper, a lot broader, more teams have access. Certainly Colorado is one of those teams that taken advantage of those additional resources. Yep. So this college football season could be pretty good.
It's going to be a pivotal year to see exactly where everyone stands. And the biggest issue is what happens this year and dictates what happens in the future years. What I tell everybody that I can talk to about Colorado football is I feel like the next 2-3 years would be worth spending all the money in the world to give Coach Prime everything he needs to try to make a run at it. I know people think his feet are out the door. They are not. We pay him the most of anyone in the Big 12 because he wants to be here. He wants to win games. He wants to make the program good. I think deeply he wants to help it get to the next level. Our AD talks out loud about the next realignment.
Yes.
I honestly don't believe that he thinks that is the Big 12 potential. I don't know. But his point is every school, and you've said it, Nathan, you are absolutely always on point. You need to prepare for the next step. The next 3 years, we have the talent, the depth, the quarterback, and if the game is afoot and you need, gosh, I hate to use these words, $50 million to make sure you have what you have to go to the next step, that is a good investment. $50 million a year for 3 years is 1 year of maybe the next TV contract for the top two conferences.
Michigan bought a national championship for $20 million fine and a $25 million pre-revenue sharing roster. Ohio State last year wasn't even in the top four technically and went through and just steamrolled to the national championship. I think this year it's going to be more of the same. I think Miami is like this close to being back to the U. And you've heard me say it a million times. Right now, write the check today. Texas Tech he knows exactly what he's doing at Texas Tech.
Yep.
We have the next 3 years, every team in all of college football, G6, anybody, you have 3 years to roughly make your impression, because the next level, whatever that is, whether it has conferences, it doesn't have conferences, whoever has the most resources is going to come in at the end of that thing, and now's the time to win.
Yes.
An open question, and then I will get to all your comments and questions. I appreciate everybody being patient with me. I got the Big 12 was obviously going to be the show that we talked most about everything. If you make the commitment and then lose, every upside that you possibly have could absolutely, you collapse like a dying star. Let's just use Texas Tech as an example. They've overspent for talent. Whether Joey can make it work or not, Texas Tech is, I mean, on paper, they have between them and Colorado have the best talent in the entire conference. If you just look at where their 5-star or 4-star ratings were, can you make those people fit together, or do you fail like Texas A&M?
Yep.
And if our teams, and I would put BYU in there, willing to spend, Arizona State is stepping up, but there are some schools that are struggling. Iowa State's on record saying, where are we going to get this additional money? I already told you Utah is already debt spending, and I've been crowing about it for a long time, how these state schools are getting all kinds of funding. Where do you go if you don't win now?
I agree. Ironically, I when you talk a lot about the debt spending, one of the things that made Colorado go in the toilet was the state actually kept cutting money from Colorado in the mid 2000s when there was a true anti-football sentiment in Boulder. There was the type of leadership that felt that academics were the only purpose of a college, therefore football isn't worth it. You're not showing us a reason to do it. We've turned that around. We fixed that. I hate to say it, they are putting it a little on the students now. Our student fees tripled to try to, make it worthwhile. But there was an attitude that student tickets used to cost, $15.
Yeah.
And we can't put 25,000 incredibly valuable seats out there at $15. They're now about $100, or, take your student fee divided by your tickets,
right,
that type of a thing. And now we don't have enough room in the stadium. So no, but if the ROI, if you were Ute and you were doing an experiment, spending everything the next 3 years is a great investment. If you need, if Colorado could get, and we've got some serious, I guess we just need some South Park money, but if we could just get, they signed a $1.5 billion deal, just give us $150 million,
right,
Trey and Matt, and we will, I think those 3 years will be well worth it, because Prime stays those 3 years, has the quarterback, gets some good talent, makes waves. The decisions will be made by 27. So you got to be in
27, 28.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yep.
The Big Ten's first back at the trough. When they renegotiate in 29, who knows? That's when maybe the CFP does its whole gymnastics, and hopefully we'll have some time to jump into that. But I got it. Comments. I appreciate everybody being here with us tonight. We did the Big 12 preview, so if you missed the beginning of the show, when we're done here, rewatch the first hour. Coos from Coos Corner and Fergie were here with me, and we previewed the Big 12. I think we did a pretty good job. I simply don't have enough time to put a creator from every school on one screen and us talk about each school. So I do apologize for those schools we barely talked about, like Houston, who I think has a chance to go to a bowl game this year. Anyways, so let me get to some comments. First of all, Daniel Gorby, who has been an OG around here forever, has become a member again. Thank you so much for your loyalty, Daniel. It's great to see you. And thanks for becoming a new member, or a return member of the College Football Mafia family. Thank you so much. Big Lubbock was first. No, he wasn't. Daniel was first, but thank you so much. Appreciate you. Good to see you, Lubbock. Jan Hulk checking in from Slovenia. We are an international show around here at the College Football Mafia Nation, and Jan has been with us from the beginning, honestly, and we are very grateful for him watching us way across the water. Thank you so much for being up. As you stay up to 2 a.m. or whatever to watch us. I appreciate it. And Jan says, college football is finally here. I cannot wait. Caden the Diesel Freak, somebody who likes to contribute to the College Football Mafia family. Appreciate all the stuff you do for us, Caden. Thank you for being a member of our network and family. Let's F go. Sorry, LFG College Football Mafia. It's great to see you, Caden. Auto Raider, Texas Tech. I'm telling you, overlook them at your own. I think they're going to be good. I think Texas Tech is going to be okay. SEC says Texas Tech. SEC, you're new around here. I haven't seen you before. Make sure you subscribe. In fact, everybody that's watching right now, we should go over 5,000 tonight. We were this close to going over 5,000 subs. I've got over 200 people watching, about 160 of them on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. There's so many new people here. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, and it helps us keep this thing going. 5,000 was our goal by the time we have Farmageddon. I'm really hoping we get to there. So thanks for being here, SEC. I appreciate you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Devil Frog, the guy who started Mafia in idea, if anything else, years ago. I appreciate you. Good to see you, Devil Frog. TCU has a chance to make the playoffs if they win 9 games, since they play 11 P4 opponents. You talked about schedule a little bit ago, Fergie.
Yeah.
TCU doesn't have the easiest path.
No, they don't, which is why
They have
there's
to come to BYU, by the way. They have to come to Provo. So
there is a chance that both being a good solid team, having a really good schedule, that gives them an opportunity. I mean, they have a really good schedule. They'll know a lot. If by week 4 they're 2-1 or 3-0, they're legit. They're an absolute legit group. So
I love it. Yeah, I'm not against TCU. Again, I said on my list, anyone in the top 9 or 10 teams could win the conference. So nobody was knocked just because they were farther down. Not only on my list, everybody's list. That's just
Nathan, everyone's at a different phase too. I mean, if you think about Houston, I think they're on a nice build. If you look at TCU and some of those folks, they were there. They had a bad year. Utah had a bad year. They'll be there. Colorado's trying to build. I'm in my coaching history of other sports, I am a 3-year philosophy that it takes 3 years for a coach to take on a team, make them believe in him, make their personality and gel work, and then it's by the 3rd year that something will show you how good they are. And so the new coaches, Frost at UCF and those types of things, the teams in flux that no one understands. Like if we did who could be the first Big 12 coach fired, I hate to throw that out there, but Oklahoma State and Cincinnati, where are they going? Which direction? And Arizona, those three schools
could get run by the 4th week.
Yeah. Which direction are they going?
Yeah, everything you just said there, I could not agree more. It is a 3-year turn anymore. People are impatient. That's why I talk about Texas Tech, the new money coming in. Everybody is doing everything they can to give them the ability to win. Can Joey McGuire put it together? Right? He's still not proven that he can build a legacy, which is what they need. And that's what it's what every team wants to be, is you want to be able to see Texas Tech and understand they do belong in the top 3rd of all of college football.
I'm rooting for I'm rooting for Texas Tech because Joey has shown to be a great coach, a great man, and we want to see them win. I just like no tortillas. That's the only win, no tortillas.
Yeah. I'm not so bent about that. I just think it's a mess and it takes forever to clean up. And anyway, Jason Spangler, been a member around here. I would say OG at this point. It's great to see you, Jason. What's that field? Colorado?
New turf.
Yeah, I can't believe you guys went to turf. Jay Bird, new to the channel. I know you're new, brother. You got to hit that like button. I appreciate you being here. Or sister. Jay Bird could be a sister too. I don't want to be exclusive. I appreciate you being here tonight. Thanks for watching our Big 12 preview show. In the Big 12, we will need at least 10 wins to get consideration for the playoffs. I will tell you right now, 10 wins won't do it. BYU had 10 wins, and nobody talks about a 10-win Big 12 team. It's going to be the winner of the conference, and hopefully it's 11 and 11 playing for a championship. And maybe you finish up at 11-2. I just don't know that 10 wins gets it done.
If it was hypothetically 11-1 TCU versus 11-1 Kansas State. Kansas State's ranked higher.
Right.
Good game. TCU beats Kansas State. Now you have a 12-1 and 11-2.
Yep.
That's the 2. I agree with you. If you have 2 10-2s, then no. 10-2 beating an 11-1 to have 2 11-2s, maybe. I hate this scenario where 9-win SEC team, you're like, of course.
I will tell you, for one thing, that groundwork was laid last year by everybody bitching and moaning at the end of the season. Those SEC teams not making a Big 12. Believe me, everybody's paying attention. And that all that whining and complaining is going to get Lane Kiffin in the playoff at 9-3. But I would just say this: it's a zero-sum game. The Big Ten, if we can guarantee the Big Ten is going to have 3 excellent teams. Are they going to have another Indiana? Is Illinois going to be the Indiana 11-1? Because right now the ACC is taking that second spot. I think both Miami and Clemson get in as long as they get at least double-digit wins.
Correct.
And who knows where SMU is? The nightmare scenario is we have 2 10-2s, and we have 1 champion, and the Big Ten gets 3 teams, and the ACC gets 3 teams in.
Ooh.
That would be rough, right? And then I don't want to hear from any Big 12 homers about you guys not wanting AQs. Don't come cry here, right? You can cry to other people who think AQs aren't required, Brett Yormark, but it's just stupid. If the ACC gets 3 teams in, the Big 12 gets 1.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a different conversation. You can tell I get anxious about that. Daniel, guys, good to see you, Daniel. Hey, give me a heads up, Daniel. I'm way off on the comments. If we've made it over 5,000, please let me know. Daniel's been paying attention. He also has said early in the show, also, please get everyone to know you subscribe. We are 20 away. Come on. We got to have 20 people watching right now. I'm over 200 people watching live. Just hit the subscribe button.
Yeah. Let's get there.
Come on. Where are we at here? All right. Bob Swinger representing Penn State. Bob's a loyal member of the College Football Mafia family. Good to have you here, Bob, representing the Big Ten and Penn State. Sorry, I didn't say earlier. Jason Spangler is the Kansas Jayhawk. Let's see. And then we got our first super chat. We are so deep in comments. We're going to go probably another 35, 40 minutes. If you want your comment to be read at this point, it's going to have to be a super chat. We're just not going to have enough time to get through probably 1,000 comments right now. So I really appreciate Lonnie Johansson for a $2 super chat. Lonnie's also a valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. I don't like his logo. I don't know anybody that I want to forget about. I just want to forget about those 3 years in BYU football history. Okay. Anyway, besides the BYU logo, good evening from Kansas. Go BYU and go Big 12. Normally says go Utah as well, so I'll say go Utah. It's great to see you, Lonnie. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Jose, can you see? There we go. SEC will want to keep it at 12 teams now that the SO. Why'd you have to do this to me, Jose? Because now I have to talk about it. Dang it. I should have looked at this and not picked it till later. SEC will want to keep it at 12 teams now that the SEC criteria was changed in their favor. They'll get 5 teams every year, leaving 3 at large for Notre Dame and the Big Ten. Okay.
Put a pin in it. Put a pin in it. Let's put a pin in it, get a few more comments, and then go hard.
Oh, man. It's going to be tough for me to do that. Okay. All right. Jose, that wasn't fair. Setting me up for that, though, early in the show, because I'm going to go off on that. Let's see here. Get some more unique comments. Jay Bird again. Last year, Retz was a stud. This year, he was mid last year. No, actually, if you know me, Jay, I always said he was mid. He had already topped out when he came to BYU. Aaron Roderick, the offensive coordinator of BYU, also not my favorite. So one thing is, A-Rod can recruit. Absolutely is a recruiting madman. I just don't think he can call plays. But that's
Nathan, he's back, correct?
He is, unfortunately, yeah.
Okay, so you're going to be on stress alert on offense all year.
Oh, yeah, but I am always. I am always. BYU needs Jay Hill could be an A4 coach. He could be coaching at West Virginia next year, right? No, he won't. I'm just saying as an example. A-Rod, there's a reason he's been offensive coordinator at BYU for like 20 years because nobody wants him.
Yeah.
If he was that good, he would already have moved on to Michigan, or he'd be coaching at Utah State. He's still, look, BYU fan, I am just not a, don't do this to me tonight. Anyway, Sean, it's good to see you. Sean always comes in with good takes. New member of the College Football Mafia family, saying hi, guys. Auto Raider, A&M's example was a high school class. So Texas Tech do not beat Texas A&M, and they won't. They're going to do everything they can not to. Antoine Johnson's good to see you, man. How you doing? I'm not sold on Texas Tech. Well, a lot of people aren't, and that's okay. That's all right. I like Texas Tech. I like their brand. I think they're going to be in the top quarter of schools when we get whatever that next thing is. Not quarter, but top third. Secret agent, also Texas Tech, represented. Nothing is guaranteed. We all face challenges. I'd prefer to get the best players. This ATM argument is tired. Texas A&M argument, I'm assuming, is what he means.
But I would circle on that one. Okay, you have the most money. You go get the players you want because Joey believes and his staff believes that's going to make them better. But you're paying out a lot of money. And your question is, does money equal best player? Does money equal most motivated player? And what is the ultimate payoff for the team? I think the reason A&M is an example of the old system with the oil bag man throwing money at players who just wanted money.
Right.
They didn't want to win. They didn't need to win. It was demotivating, not motivating. So the only thing I'd say about Tech is I hope all these players are sincerely team guys and are sincerely going to give their best, and that Tech is competitive. The problem is if it does go south, it means that the egos and the cash and the environment, Joey wasn't able to level that out. So I really, if there was a salary cap and all the players were compensated in a fair fashion and you could take the money out of it, because I know these players talk to each other. I heard a guy on the national thing said that players are lying to each other, that they're kind of like, yeah, I'm getting a ton of bag. I'm getting a ton of this. I'm getting a ton of that. That is bad locker room talk. So I'm rooting for Texas Tech. They are under a microscope. And for the benefit of the Big 12, we want it to work. For the overall benefit of the game, it's murky.
I love that. That's great analysis. Thank you, Fergie. Thank you very much, Secret Agent, for your comment. I really appreciate it. Curtis D 316. He's been around here a long time. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, representing West Virginia Mountaineers. West Virginia going to win the Big 12 now. Okay, there we go. I would look. Yeah. Anyway, Justin R. representing the University of South Florida Bulls. The Big 12 needs to get ready to learn RCJH this year. Kansas Revenge Tour starts on Saturday. I have no idea what that acronym is. Can you tell me?
I don't know what RCJH is, but I know that USF gave us 2 really good transfers, so thank you. We'll have to figure that out. Maybe Justin can clarify it.
There we go. I love that. Let's see. 2L05. I've got that right. Moen's usually here to do that for me. Thank you for being here, 2L. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, do all that fun stuff. Give us a thumbs up and hit your notifications. Sonny Dykes a great coach. He's been a roller coaster coach since La Tech. I think Sonny Dykes is a good guy. I don't think he's the greatest head coach.
I think he's a good coach. He comes from a tree of some good creative offense. I wouldn't call him his dad or, the Dykes tree of coaching, but I think he's good enough and showed that he's good enough to take a team far in college football.
Okay. Rock and Rant, contributor extraordinaire, somebody that helps us around here, has his own channel, College Football. I think he's actually live right now. College Football Express. He and sorry, I'm spacing. Miami Flow. Sorry
Miami
about that.
Flow. Yeah.
College Football Express. Subscribe on YouTube and follow on Twitter. Rock and Rant says, sure, for the Big 12, you have power. ACC hater.
Rock has been on fire. He is making the preseason just amazing, kind of being the oh shucks Miami guy when people like Moen keep Miami out of the mix. Miami's a brand. If Miami had a top-notch stadium on campus, they'd already have been in the Big Ten or SEC. They are such a legendary program.
Yeah, I think they're blue blood. So my conversation sort of ends there. I think Miami's absolutely the brand. Anyway, Miami's fantastic. And college football's better when Miami's better.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say that. Summit Hawk says 42K. He's talking about his stadium. I think you said 31K or something.
No. The point is, I've been watching the bill. I love stadium construction. I'm a super fan of sports. I do sports complexes. So my point is, if I'm understanding, one end and one side are done, but the other side is not done this season. So if Summit and Town Hawk want to clarify the stadium construction status, my point was, I don't believe they'll have one of the main sides open this season. Just clarify what I thought
I watched that drone footage that they published, and I'll be honest, I thought it was ambiguous. I couldn't tell if the east stands. I couldn't tell the status.
Yeah.
But the stadium is going to be absolutely fantastic.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. I've been to that campus over and over, and what they're doing and what they're thinking. I love the idea of creating the district. It's something they're trying to, Boulder has Pearl Street, but it's not right next to the stadium. It's up the hill. And so it's just so brilliant to do what the pros are doing. I mean, the Broncos are talking about probably spending $10 billion in downtown for a new stadium. So it's cool when everything is a district and it flows together and you can party up and down the line. So I just want to clarify that if a side is not done, it'll be a great stadium, but it cannot be as loud from one side.
Fair enough. Lee says Utah's winning the Big 12. I appreciate that, Lee. It's great to see you. I hope you're doing well tonight. Earl Carr, BYU, brother, how we doing? I can tell you right now, if Earl Carr's saying hell, we've got a lot of stuff going on for BYU. Earl has been a member, I believe, he was like member number 3 after my parents and I don't know, maybe my brother. No way in hell BYU finishes 8th or 9th in conference. I really believe, and I know everybody's got goggles and everything else. I think BYU is a above average quarterback away from making the playoff this year.
But that's a great statement, and you're rolling out a true freshman. So where do you? That's a big statement, and a moment that may not line up.
Well, I think I said it earlier, but the reason why is because they did it last year with a middling quarterback.
But freshmen can throw the ball away and make.
He's going to cost them games. There is no doubt. BYU's not going to go undefeated. I'm not. But I do believe they were like 10th in luck factor or something last year. There were a lot of one possession games, but I would say those one possession games were because of Jake Retzlaff, not despite him. BYU's
he threw the ball away. We knew he would throw the ball away, but
he's Mr. Flood. Yeah,
we were
nice guy.
We were so unprepared in the bowl game and so and you guys just outcoached the crap out of us and was such a trouncing. It's given some motivation, but rolling out a true freshman in a couple of the locations that you're going to go in a couple of games. Obviously, Kalani will brilliantly. You got to protect the freshman and use your strength.
Yeah, there's a 4-game stretch: TCU, Utah, Texas Tech, and Iowa State.
Oof.
Utah's at home. TCU's at home. I might have gotten that order screwed up, but Utah, Texas Tech, Iowa State back to back. Home and away is. They might have the easiest schedule on paper, but that stretch, that 3-week stretch, I would put up against almost any other stretch in the country.
I'm not happy that you get 3 tune-up games to get ready for the Bucks.
That's what I was just going to say. And what Earl is saying is BYU basically has 3 games: Portland State, Stanford, and then go to East Carolina. I don't know how that happened. Those need to go away. But that 3-game stretch, the defense shows up, gives Bear Bachmeier a little bit of run. But again, I might not have mentioned this, but Bear Bach, on top of being a true freshman, he memorized the playbook in like 3 weeks.
Well, they went to Stanford. I mean, obviously they.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen, right?
Yeah.
These are not normal things. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's Superman. He's going to make mistakes, but I think BYU is going to do better than they would have. Their upside is so much better, even though they had continuity with Retzlaff.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. Sorry, I got bogged down there. I didn't mean
Nope.
to. Charlie Casado, another newer member of the College Football Mafia family. Thank you so much for being here, Charlie. Like Wild Ute now for putting KU ahead from Bomber. Look, KU, I love Kansas. Always loved Kansas, the brand. You guys screwed me last year, all right? So I can't exactly be cheering for Kansas football.
I need to mention, if you've been watching, I want to olive branch to Charlie to talk about. So Charlie is a kid who grew up in Boulder, or a guy who grew up in Boulder, went to KU, doesn't think highly of CU, even though he grew up there. And in the comments, we've had comments where we agree and we disagree. So I want to be an olive branch to Charlie. He says that nobody cares about CU in Denver. Denver grew from 2 million to 4 million. And so I'm sure there are a lot of people who move there and don't give a crap about CU, but there's still the core CU fans. And he brought up CSU, and you can't use those initials anywhere around me. So
Replica in the house. Good to see you, Replica. Thank you so much. He's another OG, been with us forever. If Oklahoma State doesn't beat Arizona or UCF, they might go winless in conference play again. That would be an absolute disaster, not just for Oklahoma State, but for the Big 12. Oklahoma State needs to be good in the Big 12.
They do, but like I said, I don't know if the time has just passed and the moment is no longer there, and they need to get some new blood. I love him, his comments, his things, but time may be up. And I agree, if they don't, those types of games definitely are barometers that says that his time is up.
Yeah, I think he and Kyle should have retired, in my opinion. Turned it over to Scally. They would have had fresh air, a new offense.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you can't fire a legend, though, right? That's the hard
part.
Look
at what's Saban, all these guys. It's a moment. This is a moment in college.
Oh, there's no doubt. Yeah. Well, Saban went out on the ultimate top, and 1 year removed to the national championship, 2, so he knew what was coming, right? Yeah. It's a new world, and I just don't know. We'll have to see. Oklahoma State and Utah. The world is watching. I will say that. RW in the house. Good to see you, RW, says Coos Corner. Be very clear. Justin from Coos Corner was with us tonight doing our preview. Appreciate you, Justin. MBM, another Oklahoma State guy. Becky does not know ball. So, yeah, Oklahoma State. I don't like talking negative about. I've always loved the Cowboys. So
Barry Sanders, out of almost every single Big 8, Big 12 player that I can never have a ill thought, Barry Sanders at Folsom Field and Barry Sanders overall is one of my favorite non-buff players. Period. End of story.
Yeah, and if you don't know who Barry Sanders is and you're watching this show right now, go to YouTube, just put it in, and he dismantled people's ankles. I will just say that. Glenn Hanna, Oregon Duck. We don't get a lot of Ducks in here, but Glenn definitely comes in strong and represents the brand. We appreciate you, Glenn. Iowa State versus Kansas State, Aer Lingus Football Classic in Dublin, Ireland at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Early here in Utah. That's going to be 10 a.m. on ESPN in 3 days. How jonesing are you for that game?
Jacked. Gonna have to go buy some, Irish beer and wake up early. I'm with you in the mountain time. And the cool part is, like we talked about, it'll kick the Big 12. It'll put the Big 12. I hope it's marketed well. I hope the numbers. I want to see 8 million.
That would be awesome. That would be great
number. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, people this offseason, maybe even more than last offseason, because of all the college football and the House settlement and everything, might have more eyeballs on it just from a total numbers standpoint than ever before.
Yep.
So this is like trapped energy. Once you release it, it could be double digits. It could be 15 million, right? Just depends how many people want to get up and turn on the television at 12 Eastern.
Yeah, the neat thing that Glenn's doing, and maybe it's something that all of us Big 12ers need to think about, is we can't rely on ESPN to even market our own conference, even though they own our conference.
Yeah.
So helping each other get the word out and say, don't forget about Farmageddon, don't forget about these big games, because it's in our best interest to pull numbers. We've got to stack numbers. So we want huge, huge numbers. We got to watch each other's games. I hate to say this, but we've kind of polarized the conferences. I'm not ever that thrilled to watch an SEC game anymore. I just am not. And
it's getting there.
I only watch the Big Ten to see if Nebraska loses. So, I mean.
Yeah, it has changed. It is definitely different. I'm not sure I'm ready to put a judgment on it yet, but yeah, there is a lot of pushback. Games that you used to be able to take advantage or take for granted. Ole Miss, Georgia, right? You used to be able to turn the television on CBS. You knew that was the game of the day, right? Or Michigan State playing against Ohio State. That used to be appointment television. Now, a lot of that energy is going other places, unfortunately. Yeah. So,
do you know the one brand that I used to always, throughout my college football years, back to the 80s, that I always thought of, but I don't think of as much anymore? Auburn. Auburn is a program I always thought of. The players they produce, Auburn's brand feels, invisible.
Well, because they're in a conference now with 16 teams, and arguably 12 of those every year is a bigger brand. It's
Texas
hard to.
If I were Auburn, I wouldn't have wanted Texas and Oklahoma to just jump right on top above me.
Yeah, it's the devil has come. Bill G, another BYU fan. Thank you so much. Bill was also one or two first subscribers to our College Football Mafia channel. Thank you, Bill, for being here tonight. I think Gundy will be out with less than 7 regular season wins. Buyout money supposedly was raised after last season. He took a pay cut. So I don't know about the buyout, but
it was reduced.
He's essentially paying to stick around.
Yeah, he's buying a year to see if he can fix it, and I think everyone knows and agrees they could eject pretty quick.
It's going to be really, really interesting. Okay, everybody, that's like I said, I can't get to all these comments. I apologize. I'm going to be reading super chats going forward, and then I have this article that I'm going to bring up, and Fergie and I are going to beat the hell out of this thing. So first, let me get to this super chat that I got from Purple Cat Claus, representing Kansas State University here at the Big 12. $5 super chat. Farmageddon needs to set the tone for national perception of the Big 12 the rest of the season.
Yep.
We agree with you, Purple Cat Claus.
We stamp that.
Yeah, I couldn't do more than say amen. It really will. Yeah. It's a really big deal. And I think every year the Big 12 needs to do something where they do this.
We need moments.
Week 0.
We need moments.
Agreed. 100%.
Yeah. Now, Now, the only communication though is can't wait for Farmageddon. It's gonna be a great game. And then the next comment is, how does Farmageddon end next year? it's
Right.
it's a tragedy where I almost would if I were your Mark, I would undo the schedule next year. I actually would. You don't set a schedule that far out and then just live by it. You could potentially make an intelligent decision and not let that happen.
I will say this: if he doesn't, it's going to be another one of those choices where I thought Yormark could walk on water, and he just continues to do these little cuts. I continue to believe that putting the Holy War in October, is a disaster. And the minute Ute and I saw that, we like Brett Yormark, but we think that put it the day before Thanksgiving. It's not that difficult.
Yeah.
Just put it on a day when I don't care. Just put it the end of the season, because a 6-0 BYU and a 6-0 Utah in October, that'll draw eyeballs. An 11-0 and an 11-0 in November, appointment television. So I don't know. I just, there's so many little things that really bug me that he's been doing lately, but not having Farmageddon next year is just, what are we talking about here?
If this pulls a big number, and it's like you said, either the beginning or the end,
right,
then you have to make an executive decision and do the right thing.
I completely agree with you. Stormy Cyclone, a couple new ones. Everybody's getting in here a little bit late because we did start an hour early. So I appreciate everybody being here tonight. I know I started at 7 Eastern, not 8, but we had scheduling, had to make sure that both Fergie and Coos could be here. Coos is actually maybe even doing another show. I can't quite remember. But the Big 12 preview we did in the first hour of the show, a lot of fun. So if you're just getting here now, when we're done here, rewind. And Coos from Coos Corner was with us, and the three of us, we had some good conversation about the Big 12. Stormy Cyclone representing Iowa State, super jacked, I'm sure, for Saturday's game. Valuable member of the College Football Mafia family, says, Bob, I made it last year. The thing is awesome. The downside is it takes 2 hours at 400 degrees.
Okay.
What's he talking about?
I'll help you out. I was
okay, please.
Bob is talking about making sausage and fried potatoes on the grill.
Oh. Okay. I love it. Any place you can go to get cooking advice, I'm all for. John Dry says Auburn should lose to Baylor. That would be awesome.
Ooh, yeah.
I would love that. That would help the Big 12 immensely.
I could forget about Auburn even more.
I like Auburn brand is fantastic. It's just,
I'm just saying,
not enough hours in the day.
They're the second in Alabama. Now they're behind Oklahoma and Texas, and now they're just falling farther back.
It's brutal. Okay, so here we go. We're going to get into this right now. Let me copy this. And the reason I'm copying my own tweet is because I'm really intelligent and I want everybody to pay attention to what my commentary was. Here's the link. What we are going to talk about right now is this latest and greatest idea that came out of the college football playoff. I don't know if it's from the committee or just a flat out announcement, but they basically said they're going to tinker with the math for the playoff at the end of the year. And the reason they're going to do that, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 is because the SEC's been bitching and moaning since last year, Lane Kiffin being number 1, them not getting any teams past whatever it was, not going to 16, and they had 3 SEC teams out that they think should have been there, even though I could make arguments BYU is better than all 3. At the end of the day, we're looking at a situation where the college football playoff is, again, tinkering with the math. However, everybody's hoped for the tinkering of the math. Nobody's against strength of schedule or strength of record or any of these other things. The problem is they're doing it in a black box. Yeah. All they did was announce they're tinkering with it. They didn't tell us what they changed. So this is my comment, and then I'm going to go to the ESPN tweet. It says, enhanced metrics, I put that in quotes because that came from their tweet directly, is hilarious. Even more funny is the messengers. Who we're hearing from? ESPN. ESPN owns the college football playoff. Until the entire college football playoff process is 100% transparent. I don't know if we'll ever get there, but that's the dream. We will continue to be subject to the SEC bias. Ranked team loses, and this is just imagining yourself week 5 in the SEC. I don't care which team you pick, put them in this little circle jerk logic here, and every team goes up by losing. Ranked team loses to ranked team, loses to ranked team, loses to ranked team who beats ranked team. Now whoever started is going to end up right back where they finished because they're all playing each other.
Yep.
It's baked in. Does everybody understand the math and how this works? It's been like this. I'm 55 next month. In fact, in just a few weeks. And in all that time, there has never been a more biased way to look at the playoff than now. Even though there's more teams in it, the black box is only getting bigger. And we don't have any idea how they're making those decisions. So that's what this is all about, okay? I posted the link to the tweet. Now I'm going to let you, Fergie, go ahead for a minute or so and tell everybody what you thought about this.
Heard about it, listened to a show about it, and the first three letters out of my mouth was SEC. It was literally built to offset the complaints about their body bag game mid-season, where it could say that you'd be hurt if you lost to a bad team, which SEC teams play such bad teams in October that will never happen, but then you will gain everything you said. Now, as you stack a win over an SEC team that already got a rating boost that they may not have deserved, you're jumping faster up the ranks. This is bad for the Big 12, great for the SEC. I'm not sure if the Big 10, it's probably a wash, but I don't like it. I do like metrics. I do like analytics, but like you said, we need to see the code. We need to see the understanding of how it's going to work. I listened to it and I was like, oh, it sounds good, but not so good. I heard someone though talk about one really interesting point, and it was the Notre Dame Northern Illinois analysis that said that in the old days, Notre Dame losing to Northern Illinois in the old days would almost even make Notre Dame unworthy of playoff contention. Now, it was early. They could make it up. They got their record back. They qualified and got to the championship. But I actually think this is an absolute almost nothing burger in the sense that it is pro SEC, period.
One thing that I wanted to get to before I forgot, I don't want any polls before October. The fact that we're doing preseason polls, and again, they're already pre-rated because I had another tweet. I'm not going to go deep into my tweets, but the idea that there's a calculation that determines where people end up in the poll instead of actual games and watching people play, seeing head-to-head matchups, those type of things, which you would get if your first poll wasn't till October, is also another part of it. There's no math. There's no calculation. There's no X plus Y equals Z in any of this. And because of that, you as a program, and I'll talk about BYU or you could talk about Colorado, we want to build our team and build our entire program around what that calculation is. You could build your team heavy in one metric or another. If offense is more weighted than defense, you're going to see stronger offenses. It's natural that you're going to engineer towards whatever the calculation is to qualify. That's the purpose of the calculation at all. And being in a black box, keeping it behind a curtain, not telling people what that is, all it does is give cover for teams that are already overrated because of FPI and RPI, the recruiting rankings, the ESPN preseason rankings. Not having polls till October. What do you think about that?
I love it. I think you got to hit that mid-season. It'd be really cool. We play 12 games. So it'd be really exciting to talk about the first 6 games we play. We just play the first 6 games, and then that's the halfway point. And then you can put in the poll and you can move forward from that 6 point, because that will give you a better basis to start the rankings. Then you can start with some type of metrics. I don't know how you can take recruiting rankings and last season and overall conference perception. I like metrics. I wish we could find out a way to be transparent, to be add as many more metrics. I never liked score differential. We're promoting
Yeah, you're promoting beatdowns of bad
beats
teams
downs.
by
You're
good
promoting
teams.
likely potentially injuries because you're trying to
Yes.
keep people, and you're not building depth. And it's just it'll be a great talking point for a while. I hope the pressure comes that they can, expose the metrics.
If you're new around here, you might not know some of this stuff. We've been talking about this stuff for literally years, right? This channel, I started, and then I brought you on, and we've been talking about this from forever because we already knew there was bias in there, right? So if we and again, I wasn't great at algebra, but algebra in math, you do make some presuppositions. There are values that are assigned to individual metrics. By the way, my grandfather was a world famous nuclear engineer. But anyway, if we talk about those things, then people will understand, okay, this is where we're falling short, right? It doesn't matter what the score differential is. If the team that we're beating doesn't reach whatever that preconceived notion is, then you're not going to get a bonus. You'll get a 1-to-1 reflection of the win, but you won't get like the uber bonus that you would get from playing a really good team. Vice versa. If you're Alabama beating Monmouth, in my opinion, that should be a -1 in your calculation. Like, what the hell are you doing? Why aren't we having teams playing 12 Division I games? And I'm going to say this before I get to the article. You said something, and there's one thing I disagree with what you said. Maybe you didn't. You said it. I'm not sure you might have. Stop, Nathan. What you said is that there isn't a way to make everything pretty much equal so people are on the same playing field, and I disagree. There is a way to do it. It's my supra league idea, and you don't even have conferences. You
I
pick
agree with you.
the top 64 to 72 brands, which right today would cover every autonomous conference school, Notre Dame, and the best G6 schools would be in it today. And that league plays itself.
And you'd very likely have a neutrality scheduling system that would be, the way college games are scheduled is such an interesting exercise in terms of being contracts way ahead of time and not. Again, we talk about Farmageddon. There is no value, and we're trying to figure it out for Colorado not to play Nebraska. It pulls 10 million fans
I know.
on TV. It absolutely energizes two states. It builds the economies. It builds the blood boil. And if you had a super league and you understood rivalry value, you could at least build 1 or 2 rivalry games, and then the other 10 games would be, intelligently scheduled to think about regions and to think about other things like that. But I agree. My point is that when you inject these things and you don't have balanced schedules, you don't have equality of schedules, you don't have we're playing games, and the idea back to the BCS, back to all the other incarnations that we've had don't work. And 12 tried to balance it out. I do believe the 12 feels better than the BCS snubs, but not much better.
I will say this: we have had a 72 league, super league before, and it was in the 70s and 80s. Everybody was playing everybody.
Yeah.
People traveled. Alabama would go and play teams, right? That doesn't happen anymore. It's a disincentive to play cross conference. Interconference games, fine, whatever, but cross conference doesn't work. And it's really debilitating. It's hurting itself. We got a super chat here from Ryan Willie. Ryan Willie, the evil badger in the house, representing Wisconsin and the Big Ten. Valuable member, OG member of the College Football Mafia family. $5 super chat. Fans like Shonsky, who's BYU football in here, that the Big Ten will see its own demise because they want an AQ model, are dreaming. I don't know why people are getting so wrapped up about AQ or not AQ. I don't think that's the point. I think it's all red herring, and everybody who's following that storyline are being what's it called?
Just misled.
Well, Manti Te'o, what happened to him?
Yeah. Well, fraud or tricked or
What is the word? Oh my hell! I'll remember. Anyway,
don't play games on the words. I was going to say your point about the games. Since we're playing Georgia Tech on next Friday, and we both split the national title in 1990, and you talked about how great it would be to play, big schedules. Colorado's 1990 schedule. I don't know if you know it or you understood who we played in the year that, a lot of crazy things happened. Fifth down.
I did. I watched Washington, Colorado.
But our schedule is Tennessee, Stanford, Illinois, Texas, Washington, Missouri, Iowa State, Kansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Notre Dame. Do you hear anything in there that sounds fishy? No.
No, and that Washington team won the national championship the next year.
Correct.
So that was not a joke schedule. That Colorado, both Colorado and Washington teams were fantastic.
Imagine that schedule today.
Yeah, it won't happen until we go to something that's outside the conferences. That schedule will never happen again.
That schedule would be for a league that has 40 teams.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough. I agree.
Catfished. Ed Wayner, catfished.
That's it. You're all being totally strung down a line if you think that's the narrative. The AQ thing with the Big Ten, just drop it. Forget it. 7-7-5-5. Let's quit talking about AQs and let's talk about each conference. How about 2? Just get your best 2 teams in the thing, and then everybody else will be an open pick. 24 teams, 28 teams. I'm all for it. Big Lubbock checking in again for Texas Tech, saying the Big 12 is better when Texas Tech and BYU are competing for the championship. I would love that. It's going to be tough this year because Texas Tech plays BYU, so to have a rematch, both those teams would have to be really, really good.
Vox wants credit for catfish ahead of Ed. So
okay. Well, I got the we got the smartest viewers in all of social media, YouTube viewing. I thank you all for your contributions. We'll do another reset. I appreciate everybody being here tonight. This has been the Big 12 preview show. That part's done with first hour of the show. So once we're done, rewind, watch the beginning, and break down the Big 12. It was a lot of fun. We had Coos from Coos Corner on the show, and then, of course, we have Fergie, who's become a contributor here at the College Football Mafia Nation. I appreciate everybody being here. We should be over 5,000 subs. I appreciate everybody, all the new people, and there are 180 new people watching on, at least 180 people watching on YouTube. I don't imagine all of you were already subbed. So if you're not subbed to this channel, do us a favor. It's free. Hit the subscribe button. If you're over on X, just like the comment at the bottom says, jump over on YouTube, go to College Football Mafia. We will pop up and hit the subscribe button. Turn on your notifications. Follow us on Twitter. We have a lot of fun around here. I believe... And let me check this. There is a preview. I want to tell everybody something that's coming. They didn't confirm it. Maybe they did here. Let's see. Okay, it might not happen tonight, but Moen and you, I won't be there on Friday. It's my anniversary this weekend.
Happy anniversary, Nathan.
Thank you very much. 34 years, going strong. They will be doing basically the best. What could you build the best conference out of the ACC and Big 12? They're going to talk about that on Friday. Tomorrow, maybe, I don't know. Moen's been sick, I guess. They may do a show that says who are the first schools out, who wouldn't be included, and what that conference would look like. That's really important because anything's possible with this realignment wave and sort of consolidation is what I'm calling it now.
Yeah.
How many do you still think we're going to end up with 4 conferences in 2030, or are we going to be down to 3?
Well, it's only going to be 2 or 3, in my opinion. It's either going to look like the NFL merger, and they're going to figure out between the 2 Power 2s how to build what the TV people want, or I'm leaning into the idea of a 3rd conference, but it's the best of the rest. Notre Dame, but I'm going to tell you my theory. I think Notre Dame is in such a instead of the catfish seat, the catbird seat, and Notre Dame could start or be the third conference, be the king of the third conference, bring in another 15 schools, and it's ACCX and Big 12Y, and I feel like that's more likely because if you let the Big 12 and SEC pull the top 3-4 brands or 5 brands or whatever to them, the third conference feels really ill prepared for the future. Whereas if you built a third conference that at least if you had Notre Dame down to Texas Tech in a 16-team league, I feel like that stands up and has the ability to compete. So if I were college and I didn't want to be exactly the NFL, the AFL NFL merger version, I like 3 conferences, strong as can be. The 72, Nathan, the hard part is you have said you want people to meet a standard to show their cards on the investment.
I believe so, yeah.
I don't believe you'll get to 72 if the investment was set at this point, because I think even schools you'd be surprised would begin opting out because they would make a business decision that says it's not in our mission, it's not in our benefit to do it that way. And so it would likely round back down to somewhere in the 56 to 60, and that would be 3 conferences.
Everything you just said absolutely could happen. That breakdown could work. I don't think Notre Dame ever joins a conference. I'm still on record that none of the economics have changed enough that would force them in. The only way they join a conference, in my opinion, is if the rules change. They actually change the rules, take away their special access. So
I think that will happen. And then, but what if the third conference, underwritten by Netflix, comes in and says, if I have Notre Dame and Miami and North Carolina and all the way down to BYU and Colorado and Texas Tech and Kansas, and I feel good about it, I pay Notre Dame $250 million, and I pay Colorado 120, and off we go. Honestly, I'd take it.
It could have, yes, that's a great deal. I think it's more likely to be HBO Max, TNT Sports is more likely to do that bid for the Big 12. I think Netflix is like a feature. They love these one-off thing, the SEC thing.
Yeah, but if you read there was a big moment about who's running Netflix's live programming, and they feel good about how it's been paying off and how it's working. There's no doubt Amazon Prime is. My point is that I just truly feel like it will be 3, but that it can't be 2 behemoths and a third little buddy.
Right.
It kind of needs to be 3 stood up. And so I'm excited about Friday's show.
I 60 to 72. I'm still on record. I think that's where we end up. And I do believe it's 3 conferences. 60 would be optimum in my opinion. 72 is a stretch if you want to make sure you cover more than half of the current Division I. The purpose of doing that would be to give yourself a little lawsuit protection. You could say, hey, look, there's a majority of us. Go ahead and sue us, but there's really not an antitrust case to have because there's more of us than there are of you. Anyway, that's the whole process that I'm
60 is a sweet number because if you could almost have like 3 conferences, 2 10-team type of flexible divisions, 9 games plus crossovers, and the playoff could roll in at 12 to 16 to 24. It'd be pretty slick. Your point is valid that you've got to go through the process, but the idea of setting a minimum standard that would, you're going to essentially put up to reach the metric of a 60. There'll be a bottom and a top of the 60, but very, very valid.
As long as state legislatures will underwrite athletic departments, $17 million, $20 million, $51 million to keep those athletic departments going in some of these states. I put it this way. Every Utah fan that's watching or has ever watched our channel, I guarantee you they would love their taxes to go up $2,000 to win a national championship. It's eternal. I don't think there is a price. And I think Iowa State is going to step up and spend the money to compete, because at the end of the day, if Iowa State's not playing big time college football, what are they doing? Wrestling? What are they known for?
It's such a neat school. You hate to see it, but it's interesting. If you think about Iowa, Mississippi, Oklahoma, population and having two big time college football programs, that's a high lift just because of how many fans you do or don't have. And those programs, really got to work hard to be a brand. You guys are so different, BYU and Utah, because you have a different branding, and you're able to have, just like Notre Dame, you're able to have another fan base through a wonderful natural connection. So
is it wonderful?
I told you I have many Mormon friends, and they love BYU, whether it's in Provo or Idaho or Hawaii. So
right.
it's a great organization.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I respect the hell out of Utah as well. Greg Flugar has entered the chat. Everybody bow down to peek around the corner. Greg Flugar, he is the OG of OGs. He definitely a mentor for me. Every day has fantastic content on his channel, Peek Around the Corner. USC defeated LSU. Minnesota and Maryland defeated USC. Michigan defeated Alabama. Illinois defeated South Carolina. Minnesota defeated Illinois. Big Ten can't compete with SEC. Yeah, right. I didn't say that, Greg. You didn't hear that here. Definitely. Greg's he's on a tear, though, because of the whole Tony Petitti 24-28, and the Big Ten is just getting snowed under with negative publicity, because honestly, ESPN is the Goliath, and they're using every single PR arm they can to hammer the narrative that the Big Ten's the big bully, when at the end of the day, it's ESPN and SEC that has always driven the narrative bus.
Yeah. That's where it's so interesting to be Big 12 fans and then have rock with the ACC, to rely on ESPN to be our bullhorn, and yet the SEC is, someone did a great analysis, 75% of ESPN's game days and even daily programming is SEC. They do not use the words Big 12 or ACC even enough. I always have the question about torturous interference or about whatever it is. There's no doubt your mark is not going back to ESPN. If the Big 12 comes out in, whatever year, he has to move on, because you can't have the same, TV station running the ships.
And that's why the shift that's coming, and it is coming, everybody. Earthquake proof your house, right? The world is going to change in 3 or 4 years. It's better to be proactive. Texas Tech, I'm going to say it again, BYU's praying the freight. All we needed was somebody to say it's okay to spend money, and BYU is going to be in it to the end until somebody tells them they can't. Colorado has paid the freight. They're paying the most for a coach. I mean, everybody that wants to compete is spending money. Where we need to look at it is, at the end of the day, is what are the state schools going to do? Are they going to continue to debt spend, which is what it's going to take, or they're going to have to find one or two mega boosters like Kansas found, right? Yeah. There's only a couple ways. Media money used to drive the bus. It doesn't drive the bus anymore. It's other money that's going to come in and help keep these other schools going that aren't in the Big Ten or the SEC.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt you could do a real how is a power football program maintained, and it could be, the advantage Ohio State has: biggest brand, biggest stadium, big boosters, big TV. So they're at the pinnacle because they have the money channels locked up.
Right.
We look at ourselves now as we have 53,000 seats. We probably need 65. We look at creative TV. There's a really bunch of neat programs. We started to bundle businesses properly for game day marketing. I can go to Taco Bell today and get a buff box that has
That's cool.
literally Julian Lewis on the cup. So our freshman 5-star is on a Taco Bell cup. That's cool. That's real NIL.
It is cool.
And so that's where you got to get creative. You've got to come up with some things. I think some neat things are coming along. Have you ever heard of COSM, COSM?
No.
COSM is a place in Dallas and Vegas and LA where you can go watch a game in a building that you're literally on the sideline. It's so 3D curved, but
it's like an IMAX, but for football.
It's an IMAX, but imagine if every football, like if BYU had cameras all down the sideline and you at your house could sit there and watch the game like you're on the sideline. Yeah. Would you pay $20 a week to have that view in your living room?
Yes, of course.
I would too.
Yeah, no, it's there is a groundswell that's building at BYU. Eventually they will replace LaVell Edwards Stadium. They'll put it in one of the lots that's next to it, and they'll build some sort of a parking garage. If you've ever been to Provo, it's a small college town. Mm-hmm. It's up against the mountains, so there's not a ton of room you could say you could put stuff, but there are some lots on either side of the current stadium. And I hope this happens tomorrow, but once they make the commitment to make it a 75,000 seat, right now it's 64 plus, and I can't get season tickets. The rock passes for the students that are already currently enrolled sold out in 15 minutes. So you have legacy BYU boosters that the kids have gone forever to BYU. They can't get a participation pass to get a ticket to go to the game. These are problems, but they're problems that are good with growth. They're good, means you're becoming something better, right? So I think Colorado has all kinds of room to improve that stadium. I think BYU is going to do a tear down and replace their stadium. These are commitments state schools are going to have to make that aren't just done from oil money at Texas Tech, or aren't just done by a billionaire booster here or there. It's going to come up with a different commitment level across the board, not just one guy paying $20. I'm talking 5 million people paying $20.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Yeah, that's what's
revenue sources and revenue things. I would say though, your point about state schools and choosing to pay money, I don't know. I think that will ultimately become the demarcation of in or out.
Yeah, I don't know. What is the pain level for each state?
Yeah.
Utah is growing, right? Second or third fastest state growing in fact, it's been like that for a decade.
Yeah.
In the entire United States, super fast growing, right behind North Carolina and Idaho or something like that, Virginia. That is something you can build on, right? Iowa State, Kansas, these landlocked state schools. Kansas is different. In fact, Vox Condaro sets everybody straight. Kansas is an international, arguably the biggest basketball brand, no matter what Moen says. I don't think it's Duke. I think it's either North Carolina or Kansas. But he says KU has been AAU for 116 years. That's a fantastic academic achievement. Research One, huge regional reaching medical school and hospital with NCI I don't know what this means. NCI comprehensive oncology.
Yeah.
So that's cancer research. It's a flagship school for the state of Kansas. Blue blood basketball, no question, and it is an international brand. Vox has got it right. Which would you, if you had a choice, Fergie, which would you rather have? More realignment, or something that is outside realignment and just everybody?
Oh, I would rather have a more professional model with 60 schools that were in their own, that was in a professionally managed operation. I do not like conferences. I'm anti-conference. I think that conferences have not done what's best for the sport or what's best for anybody. And so I would rather see it just kind of created with much more thought and benefit. Nathan, I'm going to actually let you finish. I'm going to call my wife.
I've worn you out. I apologize.
No, I got to give my wife a call, and I love it.
It's my fault.
I did fix my Twitter at FF18Buffs, and
good.
I am so jacked for the season. I'll be in the seats next Friday. I'll be watching Farmageddon, and I'll watch all the shows this weekend. But I'm going to let you close it out.
Thank you for coming on. I apologize for wearing you out.
No,
I
had
sort
a
of forget
blast.
myself.
I got a blast, but my phone's been ringing. So
Go. We'll see you later.
All right.
Have a
See
great
ya.
weekend.
See
Okay.
you,
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh man, this is what I do to everybody, isn't it? You guys, anybody who's new to if you're new to the channel, this is what I do. I wear people out. I appreciate everybody being here tonight. I appreciate Coos coming on. I appreciate Fergie sticking around with me. You guys know I usually go as long as you want me to. I mean, Becky here's giving me another super chat. It's like making me feel like I need to stick around. Becky's a contributor of one of our OG members as well. $5 super chat. For Bomber to send to BYU to add 11,000 seats for the big push to the big. Oh boy, that would be awesome, Becky. I would love that. 11,000 seats, 60. So that would take us to 80,000. 10 years ago, well, not 10, 15 years ago, that wouldn't have been on anybody's org chart for planning, like future planning. I think it may be now. We'll have to win. BYU needs to continue to win to stay nationally relevant, to justify the entire church apparatus to support a massive capital expenditure to replace the stadium. There's some earthquake challenges we currently have already, so it'd have to have additional foundation work. It would just I don't know. Real estate costs in Utah are so crazy. It might be a $6 billion project. But what I liked, and Fergie mentioned this, that Colorado's doing this. I love the park idea, where it's not just the stadium. You build a whole complex of shops and team store and, all kinds of things you can build around the stadium. In Provo, Utah, that would, man, that's getting me emotional. That would be awesome. I would absolutely love that. Anyway, I appreciate everybody being with me tonight. Appreciate Coos and Fergie's for sticking around for our Big 12 preview. We only have one more to go. That's the G6. We're not going to get to that till next week, but we will get to it. So Boise State, UNLV, San Diego State, USF, Justin. We're going to cover the best of those schools, probably the top. I don't know. I haven't asked the team. Maybe I did, actually. Daniel's in the chat. Maybe he can say how many we said. It was maybe 12 teams. If we didn't set a limit, maybe we'll talk about 20. But the G6, super good this year. Boise State is going to be right there. Washington State, Oregon State, what are you doing? Let's go. Oregon State's got a previous 5-star as their quarterback. So, I mean, come on. Let's go, let's get going is all I'm saying. I want them to do everything they can to stay relevant, and let's kick these Big Tens and SECs to the curb. Unfortunately, that's not what's going to happen. G6 goes up. I can almost promise you Big 12 goes down in number of teams. I'd be willing to bet on that. So maybe I don't want you to do good. I don't know. I'm just teasing. I'm being silly. Any other comments before I get out of here? I really appreciate all the super chats. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you for being patient last night when I lost power. Rock and Vince did a wonderful job last night. Tonight is the Big 12. And then Friday night, Big Freaking Friday show. They will be talking about what would be the best combination of the ACC and Big 12. The schools that aren't currently, maybe even Boise State's in there. I haven't seen the list. You're supposed to be coming up with the list. Who would be in that conference? And what would the third conference look like? If you could take the best of the ACC and the Big 12 and put them in one place. And we're talking football. We're not talking academics. So if you're an academic person, this is probably not where you want to be. We're talking about best brands, the most merchandisable 20 teams you can put in one conference. And let's go. Let's put the best thing together. Maybe the number was 16. I can't remember. So that's what they're going to talk about on Friday. I won't be there. I appreciate everybody being here tonight. I don't think I've missed any super chats or member comments. that have been OG that popped up as green on my little controller here. You guys are fantastic. I love you so much. I look forward to this every day. Justin R., representing the USF Bulls out of Florida, saying, I'm excited, but I'm nervous as the USF Boise State game is 8 days away. I hope that game is good. I hope it's really good. I do think KU's Phase 2 stadium plan is to add restaurants and stores. I think everybody should be thinking that way. Multi-purpose, lots of access. And we have a lot to look forward to in the Big 12. A lot of Big 12 fans, a lot of ACC fans, a lot of G6 people watching us right now. We have a lot to look forward to. Go to your programs and give them money. You want to win? Give your program money, cash. Because that's what's going to take. And it's not just this year. You're going to do it every year to be competitive. All right? So one last call for subs. If you're watching and you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We've got to be over 5,000 now. Where's Daniel? Can somebody look at my membership count? We got to be over 5,000 subs on YouTube at this point. Anyway, if you're new to the channel and there's a bunch of you new watching right now, hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment or question. Turn on your notifications. And then last but not least, follow me and us on Twitter. Constantly talking about new stuff. This college football story, non-story was the big headline for today. Who knows what it is tomorrow? You're very welcome, Vox. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, I'm just talking circles now. I was going to take calls, but I'm actually getting a little tired tonight. So we will, I probably won't see you till next week. Unless they do, no, I'll be gone Friday. Yeah, it'll probably be next week. So you guys tune in on Friday night, okay? And then watch for the Wild Ute on Twitter. He's going to post, coming off the channel, some more short videos that should be entertaining. Last but not least, I want to ask everybody to consider becoming a member of the College Football Mafia family. We do a bunch of member-only shows. You can see those. Go to the main page on YouTube and hit the, what link is it? It's the tab that says, you can tell I'm getting tired here. The tab that says membership, click that thing and you can see all the member videos. There's some good ones in there. Business college football realignment. Pretty much cover everything. But we're talking about going to the football season. And yeah, let's go have some fun, everybody. Silas says, Silas, new to the channel. Thank you for being here, Silas. Make sure you subscribe, brother. I appreciate you. Let's go Mountaineers. I'm cheering for every Big 12 school unless it's playing a Big 12 school, okay? This is interesting. What's Sean saying here? This is like a drug, by the way. Once you get doing this, it's almost impossible to put down. Sean says, read an interesting article also that big advertisers want to advertise in the biggest growing states in the Big 12. Is in 3 of the states expect revenue to grow. Big advertising controls what games? Sean's right. List those states, Sean, or post the link to the article right here in the live chat before I close it out so everybody can get to it. And there's no more super chats or member stuff. So I'm going to go. Thank you so much again for everything you guys have done for us. This channel, we're a little over 3 years old from start to finish. I appreciate everything all the members have done, and we're just continuing to grow. We're not going anywhere. We'll never be Josh Pate, but we're just trying to nip at the heels of Greg Pflugar if we can. So I appreciate everybody being here. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and all that fun stuff. Have a great night. Stay out of trouble. And I will just say, go Big 12. Peace.